In a quiet valley where the mountains met the sky like folded hands in prayer lived a woman named Ellen, known not for her words but for her silence. She had lost her voice many years earlier during a fire that destroyed half the village and took the life of her younger brother. Since that night, Ellen had never spoken again. Some said she was cursed, others believed she chose silence out of grief, but no one truly knew the weight she carried. She lived alone at the edge of the valley, working as a seamstress, stitching torn clothes and broken fabrics with extraordinary care, as if every thread was a promise to keep things from falling apart again. Though Ellen never spoke, people felt strangely understood in her presence. When they sat near her, the noise inside them softened. Children stopped crying. Angry men lowered their voices. Even the restless wind seemed gentler around her small stone house. Ellen listened with her entire being, to footsteps heavy with sorrow, to sighs full of regret, to laughter hiding fear. She believed silence wasn't empty, it was a container strong enough to hold pain without breaking. One autumn, a traveler arrived in the valley, a young soldier named Corin, wounded not in body but in spirit. He had returned from war unable to sleep, haunted by the faces he could not forget. He wandered the valley until he reached Ellen's house, drawn by the candlelight. When she opened the door, she said nothing, only gestured for him to sit. Corin expected questions, advice, comfort through words, but none came. Instead, Ellen placed a cup of warm tea in his hands and sat beside him in silence. At first, the quiet felt unbearable. His thoughts screamed louder than any battlefield. But slowly, something shifted. The silence didn't judge him. It didn't demand explanations. It simply stayed. And for the first time since the war, Corin wept without fear. Night after night, Corin returned. He spoke, Ellen listened. He told her everything, the guilt, the anger, the shame, and she carried it without interruption, without turning away. As winter approached, an avalanche thundered down the mountains, trapping several villagers beyond the pass. Panic spread. Shouts echoed. Ellen stood at the center of the chaos, calm as falling snow. She climbed to the highest ridge where the echoes carried farthest and rang the old warning bell with steady rhythm, not frantic, not fearful, but sure. Her sound guided rescuers through the storm. Lives were saved that night because someone who never spoke knew exactly when to make noise. Years later, Ellen remained the same, silent, steady, strong. Children grew up learning that not all strength shouts. Travelers left the valley changed, having learned that silence can be a language of its own. And though Ellen never found her voice again, she discovered something greater, she became a place where others found theirs.